All right, I wanted to review this non-lethal EDC option. Now, this is the Smith & Wesson military and police tactical pen, I guess you would call it. It has the aircraft grade aluminum. It's got some pretty, well, now it's kind of used down a little bit, but mildly aggressive texturing here in the aluminum. So you really get a good solid feel if you're using the pen. It is a pen. This is a non-lethal. It doesn't have any knife blade, nothing like that. It's just simply an aluminum frame with an actually pretty decent pen. It writes quite well, that ballpoint. It is spring loaded in here, even though it doesn't close that way. It's got a pretty strong spring, you can see there. And there's a replaceable, as you can see, it just runs off of the Schmidt refill, the P900M, made in Germany there. But this is an extremely high quality pen. Now, I've owned this one for many years. Actually, I've had two. I really only have one complaint total with it. Now, this one I've probably owned for, let's see, probably on the better side of 13 years or so. The only complaint I have is, now you hear that clip, it does click, but as you might be able to see in the picture, there's a lot of wiggle. The cap doesn't feel like it really is on there well. And in fact, this is my second pen. But the cap, though it comes off and it clips on, it does come off relatively easily. And my other pen, I actually lost the cap on because it was even more loose than this one. So that's my only real complaint. Otherwise, I love this thing. This pen has been well traveled. Years ago, my late pastor, he passed from cancer 2 years ago. I'm sorry, I guess it was 4 years ago. He actually was going to Lebanon to visit one of the missionaries our church supports. And obviously, on a plane, you can't carry weapons. And we were talking in one of the deacons' meetings, and he was saying he wished he had something he could take with him just to have on the plane and even off the plane. So I had this with me, and I said, here, take this. This is authorized for carry-on. Again, it's not a weapon. He took it on his carry-on to Lebanon in the Middle East, and he carried this around the entire time with him. So this one specifically has been to Lebanon 2 times. I don't believe it was to Israel. He might have taken it to Israel with him too, I don't remember. But what makes this thing so special is that blunted tip. Now, obviously it's worn down just from use and carry over 13 years, but that aluminum tip is not sharp, like it won't cut you. But when you put pressure on that, it really, really produces a great amount of pain with that. So if you are holding it here like this, you could use your thumb to kind of hold that, and you would just go. You can see this is a hardwood cutting board. It creates quite a sizable dent. I mean, it goes in there. You can see that whole tip will go in. You take this and you pop it into someone's sternum. While it won't obviously kill or injure them, it will disable them due to the amount of pain and force you're able to inflict. Also, I've seen some people with self-defense were using it if someone's got them kind of pushing against their arm and just really creating a lot of pain there. If you use it properly, it would be a great just defense weapon in areas where you are not able to carry lethal weapons. I don't know about you, but I work in the medical field, and hospitals do not allow weapons, so guns or knives. So this is a great option just to have something on you should you need it. I actually worked in the ER many years ago, and that's initially why I got this. I wasn't allowed to have any type of self-defense weapon, and I worked ER, I worked evening, nights, through that bath salts craze. If you guys remember that years ago, there were so many people who were on drugs and really paranoid and acting crazy, and sometimes they'd threaten you. I've been threatened many times with my life, and it just feels better to have something on your scrubs that you can grab should you need to disable somebody. Thankfully, I never had to use it. We were able to take care of whatever we needed to without using any type of extra force over those years I worked in there. But that's why I mainly got this. I thought that would be a great choice, and it was. It was a fantastic choice for that. Maybe you work in a federal type building where you can't have something, or another type of workplace where you're not allowed to have those tools, and you can keep it in your car. But this is something that's fantastic to have on you. And again, it actually is indeed a pen. The pen itself actually does write extremely well. I've been very impressed. I actually keep this now, and I keep this one with me frequently. I was using it in church on Sunday, had it in my suit pocket, and was taking notes in my Bible as needed, and it just writes so nice. So this is an option I heavily recommend to anyone looking for an EDC that is non-lethal, that actually has another use, that's not just a space taker up. This is a really, really fantastic option. So again, aluminum, you're not going to bend it, you're not going to break it. It's very strong. Just be aware that that pen cap does, though it clips on, it does, after you've used it for a while, it does get a little loose. Now again, it won't fall off, but with enough, just a fair amount of pressure, it does come off. All right, well, you can find these things on Amazon, I'm sure, or anywhere else, but that's what I recommend. Smith & Wesson Military and Police Pen for EDC non-lethal option. Thanks for watching.